Oh, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to yet again another episode of Comfort and Chaos with me and, of course, my co-host, Mayman Will, where we kind of help you find that common sense in an uncommon world by finding comfort in this chaos. But, guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. Seriously, and on a serious note, thanks, guys. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, be part of the Comfort and Chaos community, guys. Get yourself some cool Comfort and Chaos at the Chaos Shop gear. You know, I'm walking the Lululemon hoodie. You know, you can get it super cheap at the Chaos Shop. Don't ask how we have that connection, guys, but it's available now. It's nice and warm and cozy, and it's nice. This winter holiday season, guys. It's really good. It's really comfortable. I don't even want to take it off. I'm going to see if I can wear it to PT, but I don't know how that's going to play with my CSM. But either way, guys, all the links will be in the description down below, guys. And we definitely appreciate all the support. It goes a long way. So thank you all. Will, how have you been, man?
I'm good, buddy. Watching the subscribers of this channel, right, continue to grow. Hey, if you're out there, right, share this podcast with a friend, share this video with a friend, have them subscribe, have their friends subscribe. Let's see if we can hit 4,000, man. We're at 35
by the new year. Let's do
That'd be friggin' amazing.
4,000 by the new year, guys. Help us out.
Yeah.
Operation 4,000. Let's go.
Yeah. Operation 4K. Let's do it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I got my green jacket on tonight.
Ooh, you got the green. What's the special? Is that for the holiday spirit or
green jacket, gold jacket? Who gives a shit?
Hey, let me ask you, have you completed all your Christmas shopping already?
Yeah, I think I'm actually good. That rarely, this is not normal. I think I'm actually good.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of ahead of the curve. Are you one of those procrastinators?
1,000%, dude.
When you're just last minute, let me go and just get everybody.
Dude, my go-to for years, years past was hey man, I'm just gonna go to fucking Walgreens, buy the most.
I'm gonna go to the
shit that I can find. Being out in the small town out here, man, you can't really do that. You got a plan, dude. There's nothing gonna be open. So it kind of forced function, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, man.
What about you, man? You got all your stuff done?
So for me, I will admit I have not. And every year I try to get ahead of the game, but I don't even know if I've ever asked you this. How many siblings do you have?
One biological brother and then stepbrother and stepsister.
Okay. Yeah. So 4 of you guys all together, So
yeah.
I mean, so do you buy gifts for all your siblings still, or
no?
You guys are already
no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, I am the oldest of 6. So I definitely am that big brother who's still absorbed those duties as a big brother, and I try to get a gift for everybody, all my siblings, to include mommy and daddy,
You're
but I am
something?
Yeah, you might be getting something too.
You said daddy.
I noticed that last time on the last episode. You need I don't know what it's daddy. Calling yourself daddy is just not cool. That's
1990. I didn't call myself that. I'm just pointing out. I thought that you. It was. You know what? Neither here nor there. It's all right.
Yeah. No.
It's all right.
No. You're someone else's daddy, not this guy's. That's for sure. You're the co-host, the Comfort and Chaos teammate. But you're someone else's daddy. Guys, comment down below if Will's your daddy or not. If he is, hey, comment down below. Let us know.
Who's daddy?
Who's got more daddy vibes here? All right.
Comment down below. You asked the wrong question, my little man Peach.
Cheers. Here.
What are you drinking tonight?
Ooh, tonight
it's
actually a Jack Daniel's. Their 12-year. They have a 12-year single barrel. Yeah. So, true story. I went looking for Buffalo Trace to the Class 6 the other day.
Yeah.
And I see this old man who just there just shot me. You can tell this guy, Vietnam vet, you can just tell, all decked out. And he's looking in the whiskey aisle and he's like, he sees my patch. He's like, oh, you've done some cool stuff. And I was wearing the SOCOM patch, He's like, oh, you done some cool stuff. And he looks at the other side. He's like, oh, and you're MI, so you definitely can't tell me what you did, And I'm like, hey, how you doing, sir? He's just like, he's like, oh, you're a whiskey man. I said, yeah, I'm a bourbon man. I'm looking for some Buffalo Trace. He said, yeah, they never have it here. A couple of my buddies, they always come and get it as soon as they stock it on the shelves. But he said, if you are looking for something similar, and I told him, well, I also got recommended Basil Hayden, which you haven't tried it. Definitely, it's a good contingency. If you can't get Buffalo Trace, it tastes really smooth and really well. And that was a recommendation from our main man, Will, here. But he also pointed, when it comes to that same quality, but better on the price, check out, believe it or not, Jack Daniel's single barrel 12-year. He said, I promise you, you will like it, and it's just as smooth and a little cheaper, and he's not lying. It is actually very smooth. It's darker, but it's smooth, and hey,
just like you.
Give it to Jack. Yeah, dark and smooth. Dark and smooth, guys. Remember that. It's my call sign. Dark and smooth 7, signing on the net.
Oh shit.
That's right. So if I'm dark and smooth, what are you? Irish creamy. The Blarney Blast.
The Vanilla Bomb Pop, man. Vanilla Bomb
Pop. There you go. Vanilla Bomb Pop. What's the one you had signed on, the white something or something like that? I remember white
buffalo.
White buffalo. I mean, you have a galore of them.
Mr. Blanco.
But, hey, real quick though, I don't mean to change this to another note. And guys, if you haven't, I'll have to, maybe Will can send me the link. But so I received Will is good friends with a buddy of his who actually is now an up and coming author of a book by the name, his name is Sean Haggerty, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm about to go on leave. I'm about to go on leave here, guys. I have that book. It's been sitting on my nightstand, but I have full intentions that over leave, I'm going to read that book and see what it's all about.
That's Sean Haggerty. He wrote a book called Jones Point. It's a fiction book. From a guy that was heavily involved in the special operations community. Ranger. Awesome dude. He actually just started, I saw a post the other day. He just started, writing the second book, writing the sequel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, if you haven't, maybe we could throw a link, down there.
Oh, we will. So the plan is, Will, and then I'll let you know too. So the plan is, I'm going to go ahead and read this book over leave. And when we come back, I'll even do a quick little review, and give a little review. Okay. We can maybe talk to Sean and see if he's okay. We post some links, give you guys a link. I'll show you the book. We'll do a full-on review of it. And I'll let you guys know because, I'm not going to make you guys go out and do something if I haven't done it myself. So let me check it out and we'll rock and roll from there. But I am looking forward to it, guys. And I'm not a big book reader. I wasn't one of those guys. But this book, I got it. I already looked over. I'm like, it's very easy. It looks very, I was a scout, scout. Come on now, give us a gun, give us a map, give us a radio, and we're going to go execute. But don't give us a 300-page book. Yeah. Because we're going to be like, toilet paper. I don't know. What do we got here? But I'm looking forward to it. And it looks like an easy read too. And that's what I like, guys. So
yeah. It's a great book, man. You're going to love it.
So I'm looking forward to it. So yes, so I look forward to the episode. We'll do a review, and who knows, maybe eventually get your buddy Sean on here. Kind of
give him a ring. I'll give him a ring. We'll see if we can set something up.
Hell yeah, guys! If there's one thing you don't know about Will, he's very well connected. So you guys want to slide in some DMs? Those are the ones you want to slide into. Either way, onward. All right, guys. So we got a quick little drone update. All right. As you know, they're still in the headlines. Will, I don't know. Tell me, dude, have you seen it? I mean, seriously, They are still in the headlines. People are still going. The media is just going crazy, guys, and it blows my mind that it's like, come on now, somebody just say something. Keep everybody calm, cool. Christmas is around the corner. Come on now, don't ruin it for everybody, especially in New Jersey. I feel for you people. But we finally established comms with One Eye. He finally came in. Yep. We finally established comms with One Eye. Let me
One
tell
Eye
you,
is alive. What? Yeah, there it is. One Eye is alive.
One Eye is still alive. Hey, thank you for that, Jamie. I appreciate that. Way to keep the ticker updated. But One Eye still alive, guys. He sent us a quick message. He wanted to relay to the team. He's kind of checking in, but he's also giving us a quick little update of what he's going on. And then he just went radio silence. But the cool story is he is alive. He's doing well, and we're looking forward to check in with him. Now, just to give you guys a quick update. One Eye is actually he's in the front grounds. You know, he's our comfort.
It's about goddamn time.
Yeah. He's our Warzone correspondent, which means when I say Warzone, I mean he's like the front lines for all the kind of like the stuff of what we talk about out here. We just send him out, you know, and I don't know.
That's how we lost that fucking eye.
Yeah, we won't talk about that because, you know, there's still some disputes and contract stuff that, yeah, we're not even going into that. And I don't even know how he gets paid, but we figure it out somehow. So, guys, definitely get yourself some Chaos merch from the Chaos shop because we got to keep One Eye. Got to give him some food every now and then. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's getting it done. Because his community service is running out. So I don't know what he's going to do after that. Either way, Will, are you ready for this update?
Yeah, man. Let's go.
All right, let's get it. Here we go. One Eye coming in. Hey, One Eye, what do you got for us, man? Give us an update.
Good evening, my fearless followers. This is your one and only One Eye War correspondent, broadcasting live from the epicenter of what can only be described as the drone apocalypse. Yes, man. Folks, it seems the skies above America have gone from friendly to freaky, with more unidentified flying objects buzzing around than a wasp nest on a 4th of July barbecue. Now, if you're wondering what these buzzing invaders want, you're not alone. Are they here for reconnaissance, surveillance, or just trying to find the closest Starbucks? Nobody knows, folks. Nobody knows. The government says stay calm, which, let's be honest, sounds a lot like when your mom tells you it's okay that you drop the Thanksgiving turkey.
Ooh, don't drop the turkey.
But don't worry, folks. This isn't the end of days yet. We got government officials blaming everything from new FAA rules to celestial objects, and some even whispering it's spy drones from China. Meanwhile, I just saw one hovering near Taco Bell, so I'm starting to think this might just be a bold new marketing strategy. Rest assured, though, your trusted One Eye correspondent is on the case, dodging drones and bringing you the news with a twist and a dash of what the heck is going on out there in America. So keep your eyes to the sky, America, because if you stay in one spot for too long, these flying pests are going to get you. You might just be witnessing the start of World War Z or a really aggressive Amazon Prime delivery. On that note, time to duck. Reporting live, it's the One Eye War correspondent, signing off, hopefully in one piece. Get your Skynet system ready with your shotgun.
Oh, man. Hey, One Eye, be safe, my buddy. Be safe out there, dude.
Godspeed, you crazy son of a bitch.
Godspeed. And what the hell, dude? Taco Bell, really? Is that where your OP is set up? Outside of a Taco Bell?
It looks like he's fucking working at a Taco Bell with that fucking thing crawling across his goddamn face. That is the most childish mustache I have ever seen. I'm just curious when he finishes puberty. Jesus Christ.
Hey, One Eye, you keep grinding, man. Hey, Godspeed. We're with you. All right. Let us know what you need. All right. And stay safe. Keep us updated, though. We're glad to see you alive and glad you're doing well. And thanks for giving us that update on the drones. You know, I mean, Will, there you have it, man. There's our update.
There it is.
You know, I mean,
the media, we asked last episode. He's back.
Now they know. Now they know what's going on, guys. Now you know. Now you got the front lines truth. You know. So despite what TikTok and Instagram and Twitter or X is telling you, hey,
he's still alive. He's still kicking.
He's over there. He's over there ducking and dodging. You know,
probably dodging fucking Luigi's in New Jersey.
We should send them there next. Obviously when they kick off that trial, should we tell them, hey man, beat feet down to New York and give us an update on what's going on outside when the trials start? And now, are they starting trials on that soon, or what?
He's supposed to get extradited. So he's still in PA. They're doing an extradition hearing tomorrow, and he's expected to waive it, so he's going to get extradited and then charged with murder in New York.
Wow.
and terrorism.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Two terrorism charges on top of the murder charges that he's facing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is damn.
And the interesting part, like all of the GoFundMe's for his extremely high price lawyer. So there's like all these people that are trying to fund this dude's defense.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
How much money has been raised?
I don't know. Like that, right? Like again, right? Like you've got the right and the left on this, coming in from different angles, and what they are reporting is a little different. The right, obviously really kind of attacking this as like, hey, like, are we really defending a murderer? And then the left kind of being a little quiet more so about it, and reporting about all the support that he's getting. So it's a very interesting dynamic. But it looks like he's got a very high priced lawyer. Now the dude came from, what appeared to be a fairly well off, upper class family anyway. But there's been a lot of talk of donating to his legal fund. Let me put it that way. It's very interesting.
Wow. I mean,
he's got a legitimate lawyer, very legitimate lawyers. Like he's not getting a public defender. Like he's getting very high priced lawyers.
I mean, I would assume certain lawyers like that are not going to hesitate to jump on an opportunity, knowing the public forum that it's going to be in. You know what I'm saying?
Publicity that you're going to get from that.
You're going to get a lot of publicity, a lot of camera time. The press is going to be like, it would be almost crazy for a good lawyer to not jump on an opportunity. Like, I'm surprised. I bet you as soon as he got booked, like, I bet you lawyer cards were just sliding in. Like, hey, give him my card. Hey, make sure he gets this card. Call me. Like, easy.
Yeah.
Because they know. They're gonna just jump on it and see what happents.
Yeah,
it's like a win-win for them.
Sure.
It is going to be interesting, and I'm kind of looking forward to see what's going to come out of this. Obviously, I mean, the guy's guilty. Obviously, dude, you killed somebody. I mean, the reality is you killed somebody. I don't know what else there is. You got literally, it's on camera. Now, I mean, okay, let me correct that. Allegedly, that was you on the camera. All right, allegedly, but
allegedly.
Now, hypothetically, Will, let's just say he's found not guilty because he proves it wasn't him. He totally OJs it, and
you mean
the glove doesn't fit,
the suppressor that I have in my backpack doesn't fit the 9mm handgun ghost gun that was also in my backpack. That manifesto in my pocket.
Have you
never seen it? Those aren't my pants.
Saying. I'm just saying, man.
I was just here. I heard the McRib was back.
I am just saying, you at this point,
sure.
In today's world,
sure.
No.
Yeah, OJ got off, right? Like, come on now. Like
exactly. The glove didn't fit,
Glove didn't fit, so man. Must have quit.
So, and he's gonna be like, yeah, I write manifestos all the time, once a week. Here, I got tons of them. Come on, look at my apartment.
I'm an artist.
I got manifestos on air. What do you want a manifesto on? I got one on McDonald's. Here you go.
He does now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I am curious. I am curious to see how it plays out, because if hypothetically, let's just say if he were to get off, then the reality is, okay, so there's a killer at large that got away with it.
Right.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
reality. So you either caught the guy or you got to openly admit that there is a killer who successfully assassinated somebody and is now gone. And at this point, you're not going to find him, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that dude's in the wind. Like, if he really did disappear, like, I mean, obviously, like they got the guy, like allegedly.
Allegedly. So, speaking of which, we'll carry onward to this. Another big topic today, guys, is, I mean, obviously, and I'm pretty sure, Will, you probably are tracking too what's going on in the news, but in Madison, Wisconsin, some big event just happened, but we'll look more into that before we talk into it. There was a big shooting.
Yeah.
And that caught me by surprise, guys. I'll openly admit, I guess it happened yesterday, but I was so busy yesterday. I didn't even catch, like, it wasn't blowing up in my headlines and of course my feed until this morning, and the updates are still coming out, and I think as of right now, they've confirmed five dead, and then still 5 injured. At least that was the count. That was the last that I heard in the morning. But what a tragic story. I mean,
Oh yeah.
another shooter. Was it a female when I was tracking it?
Yeah,
It was
yeah, like a 14, I think 14-year-old female, went in shooting at a small Christian school.
Oh, wow. It was a
Um,
Christian school.
yeah, very small Christian school,
So a
like
private school, basically.
sure. Kindergarten through 12, very
Oh,
small.
I went to one of those schools.
Yeah,
I went
yeah,
to a private school that was a Christian school, and it was exactly that. It was like kindergarten through 12, but they had 2 different campuses. They had a campus for like basically kindergarten through elementary, and then they had a junior high and high school side.
yeah.
So,
And so just update. There was a bunch of wild information that initially came out with that. There was 2 killed.
2. Okay.
Yeah. Now there's still a couple in critical condition.
Okay.
So the shooter, right, self-inflicted gunshot wound, self-deleted, because you can't say that the other word on
Yeah,
the YouTube,
self-delete.
so we're gonna get
Nice.
removed. But self-deleted after. So a lot still coming out on that one. Not a ton of information yet. What we do know is, again, like 14-year-old girl, Christian school. She attended the school, and then really the police have been fairly mum on exactly like what was the motive behind this. Nobody's really sure. They're not commenting on it or really fucking anything.
No, it's been
There's a
silent.
well, they're trying to do their investigation, right? How did this
I
kid
got you.
get the gun? So they're talking to the parents. They don't want to, like, put some stuff out there that is making people maybe clam up and be quiet while they're trying to figure this thing out.
Now, Will, do you know
There's
what kind
also
of weapons
allegedly a
she used?
manifesto out there online.
I did see
But
something about that.
that is
About
unconfirmed, and whether or not it's actually the
Okay.
shooters or if it's just fucking propaganda out there because somebody's
Okay.
trying to take advantage of a really shitty situation. So really, like, more to come on that one. We just don't know at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And I definitely look forward to seeing what comes up with this. And of course, Will, I'm pretty sure you'll be more on top once the facts are really put out there, because it is still new. It is a sad situation. I mean, I've always said, I mean, when you're walking into schools and killing innocent children, like, I mean, I don't know. I seriously, you have to be in a certain headspace to do that.
Sure.
There's something mentally wrong with you. And I'll just say,
Yeah.
no, I mean, there's real evil out there in this world that you could, I mean, shoot, if you're just trying to like go kill some bad guys, well, join the military, and go join the military and go engage evil, but don't come down the street to your own neighborhood and go take the lives of innocent people who don't even know your name, I
Yeah.
mean, to me, there's just, oh man, that breaks my heart, man. I hate that. I hate that that's a thing in this country, is you're going into schools with kids and you're literally, I hate that. I hate it, especially as a father.
yeah. I mean, it raises a lot of questions, and right, like, immediately they jump to, banned all firearms.
Oh, I mean
That's
that is the one
usually the
thing.
first one to come out. Um, I find it kind of interesting when, I don't remember hearing the same level of outcry from the ban all firearms crew when it was the CEO that just got gunned down on the street. Like, I don't know about you. I don't
Oh,
remember hearing that. Like, do you remember hearing that? I don't remember hearing that.
that is very interesting. That is a
But
very
okay,
valid point.
okay.
You didn't hear
Um,
about that. And
you
wait a
didn't
minute.
hear that
In New
one.
York, don't they have like some of the toughest gun laws anyways?
Well, yeah, for sure, right? But again,
But the
right,
bad
like,
guys will always get a gun.
for sure, there's right there, there's right. If you said all guns are illegal next year, right? So you got to come turn in all of your firearms.
Don't scare me like that.
Oh, I just lost all of them in a boating accident, by the way. Sorry, my bad. But so yeah, it's crazy. But that big ocean right next to me. I don't know what happened out here
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Colorado.
yeah. Oh,
I lost
mine were
them all.
there.
They're all on the
Damn,
boat.
you lost all mine too, dude. Mine were with
Yeah,
yours. You had
yeah.
mine.
We lost all of them together.
Why are you barely telling me about this
But
now?
um,
Damn it, now I have
uh,
no guns.
but like, let's say, okay, yeah, you got to go turn in all your firearms. Okay. Do you think uh dude on the street is gonna, like, that criminal, that right, like, the bad
No,
guy,
exactly.
like, that dude's gonna go turn his shit in? No. Like,
No.
you just disarmed the population. And we've seen time after time what happens when you disarm a population.
Yeah.
It usually doesn't tend to turn out too well.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah, so super interesting there, right? Like, how did a 14-year-old get access to a handgun? Right? Like, let's start there. Like, I'm okay going after parents who, like, are irresponsible, or right, like, can't secure their
Oh,
own firearms, or
fully
what I mean,
agree.
like, or whoever, right? Like, however that person got a hold of that firearm, right? Um, those people should absolutely be held accountable. So, I know that there's, real super hard 2A folks out there. I consider myself Second Amendment type of person. But when
I
you have
mean,
a
it's your
14-year-old,
opinion.
right, like, who I think pretty much everybody, for the most part, can agree, like, hey, should not have unfettered access to a firearm.
No, not at all.
um, has unfettered access to a firearm and commits a crime with said firearm,
Yep.
should be held accountable 1000%.
Yep.
So
Now, this also is a good kind of segue into another thing I wanted to talk about, uh, but it just came to mind. So Australia just recently banned social media from every child 14 and below. So they're not allowed to
really,
have social media. Yes. Um, and the reason being is because they feel obviously those kind of young minds should not be exposed to all the chaos that is on social media today. And it makes sense because to me, and let me ask you, Will, what your thoughts are. But to me, somebody like this who can literally take a firearm and go into an innocent establishment with innocent human beings, children, and just start shooting. For a 14-year-old to do that, okay, especially in America,
mm,
I guarantee she had access to social media and had some type of, I mean, something's been put in her mind. I mean, I believe that because I'll tell you this, Will. One of my first deployments, I was in Africa, and we had enemy combatants shooting at us who were legit children, but they were children who were literally
yeah,
kidnapped from villages that were being raided by these forces and straight evil. And I'll tell you, it was evil raiding these forces
Yeah.
and taking these young boys, literally 3, 4 years old, and literally putting AKs in their hand and a magazine
Yeah.
and saying,
Yeah.
hey, Americans, shoot. And they're just being brainwashed. Like, these are the bad guys. These are the bad guys.
Sure.
These are the bad guys, you know? And now I feel like social media and a lot of what's going on that is like, it's kind of like a digital mental forming, you know? And now, mind you, there's different aspects you can take this, because at the same time, you can be like, hey, we're her parents. You know, does she have parents in her life? Are they monitoring? Are they doing their job as parents? You know, are they educating
Sure.
and bringing her up right? You know, to include firearm safety. You know, if there's firearms in her house, hey, you know what? My son, you know, I got a lot of backlash one time because of my son. He was 5, and I had him at the range with me, and I'm teaching him firearm safety. You know, I'm teaching him how to shoot, but at the same time, I'm also teaching him, hey, all the firearm safety and everything that goes with that. And now he knows, like he knows, you know.
Yeah. My son's the same way.
Yeah, and you start that young, you know, but that's because Will,
Yeah.
you and I, we know that, you know, and we also know because we know a real threat, we know a real evil, you know, that's out there. And we also know to keep, you know, escalation of force contingencies. You know, we have all that training where you just know, hey, keep your composure. Hey, you know what you need to do. You know, stay calm, stay collected. Let's look at a logistic approach on this, and then not an emotional. And let's react logically and not emotionally. You know, but I don't mean to deter from what I was saying, but it really is. It's fascinating how other countries now are starting to look into and reassess or reevaluate the exposure social media has to teens. And I think this in America is a good idea for somebody or some politician out there to be like, look at what, I mean, let's see what social media this woman had. Like this female 14-year-old, what was she doing on social media? Who was she following? What was on her feed? What was in her algorithm? You know?
Well, that's so right. This is the interesting point. And this one's hard for me. On where I sit with this, because I kind of go back and forth on it. You know, these social media companies, right, have developed these algorithms to right, basically give our brains, right, the dopamine equivalent hit of a drug, right? Like, and so I mean, how many of us, and myself included, right, like doom scroll, right? Like you sit there, you right, like, oh, I pull up some reels, I pull up some videos, I pull up Facebook, right? Like if you follow me on fucking Facebook, buckle up, because you'll see the shit show that I put out there nonstop.
Guys, let me tell you, you tax me on shit that even I'm like, yeah, I can't post that, dude. Come on.
Yeah. So
I'm like, I got soldiers that follow me, dude. Come on.
Oh yeah, like it's funny if you go back a couple years, like you go back like last year before, like when I was still in, like it wasn't. It was as frequent, but not as bad. And now it's just bad.
I love it. I love it.
But right, like. Right, that as adults, right, like we are susceptible to that. Now talk about a developing kid's brain, right? And they're super susceptible to that. My son is super susceptible to that. And we have to put guardrails on, man. Like, hey, like your YouTube time is X, right? So as parents, we do that. Right. The libertarian in me says, go do whatever the fuck you want. It's not hurting anybody, but it is, you know, potentially hurting our youth, right? And there's, you know, they're, as we are evolving, right, and able to study this stuff, it is coming out. We're like, hey, like this is damaging kids' brains. It's damaging fucking adults' brains, and changing our thought patterns. So, you know, does there need to be additional guardrails? Right, we have guardrails on other things that damage public safety. You know, hey, you have to be this old to smoke a cigarette. You have to be this old to, you know, do a thing,
buy a beer,
right? To buy a beer, right? Now I disagree with some of those things. You know, I'm a big free will person, but this one's hard because it's right. Like we are fucking with shit that we don't fully understand the impacts yet. And the more that we do understand it, the worse it kind of is looking. So this is where I'm like, I don't know which side of the fence I should sit on this one. It's very interesting. Because there's a lot of benefits to social media, and you know, maybe we just need to go back to the simpler times of the Facebook or the MySpace. Remember the MySpace?
MySpace is so like innocent. You look back now, and you're just like,
Oh yeah,
MySpace
dude.
It was just like
MySpace was so good.
it was just so fun and just innocent, you know. It's like,
And it taught you
hey,
a fucking skill, man. Like
it,
it taught you coding.
yeah,
Like you had to
it
learn
did.
how to fucking HTML code.
I didn't
do your own
exactly.
shit.
Ain't that the shit?
You
Like,
want-
if you
want
wanted a cool profile,
a cool
good
fucking
luck, bro.
page.
You better
These
get a
kids
computer
these days, they
software
don't know.
degree. You better
These
get a
kids these days don't
computer
know.
software degree because you're gonna need that if you want a cool profile.
Yep. Fuck yeah, dude. Like you had to figure
But
out
yeah,
how to like
those
implant code into your page to make shit
those were
work.
the days, man. Those were the days, you know.
Right. And it
But
was just like, hey, here are my friends, here are your friends. We can communicate, right? Like now with the 24/7, you know, news cycle, right? Like
oh,
the little
it's
bite-sized clips of like that you're forced to ingest.
you know,
It's super interesting.
you
Like
know,
how this
there
is
is
gonna
legit,
shake
dude.
out.
There is legit profiles on Instagram that literally show people dying.
Oh yeah. That's what,
You know what I'm
same thing
saying?
on
Like,
Facebook, man.
I know, but like, why is that accessible to like my son
Right.
if he had an
Yeah.
Instagram profile? You know,
Yeah.
like why is that like that's what blows my mind, man.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
is when I see stuff like that, that's when I'm like, dude, okay, I mean, I kind of like I'm on board with this. You know why? Because it's like you said, these are young minds that are still developing. I mean, the mind
Yeah.
doesn't even fully develop till you're like 28, like
Sure.
scientifically.
Even
Yeah,
then,
I
I
mean,
don't think I ever
exactly, you
developed.
know. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it doesn't even really develop. Now, I even know
Sure.
this because I recently took I don't know if you've heard of like an enneagram. An enneagram is basically like a personality test that has been like it's what they use, like professional psychologists and everything to use. They even put in their protocol that if you are under the age of 25, you cannot take the quiz for the enneagram because it will not be suffice because your mind is still developing. So
Mm,
they cannot plug in those answers. The
mm,
psychologists, they cannot plug in your answers or your responses, you know? And so I'm like, well, that being said, why is it then that like, I mean, you're talking about teenagers who literally have social media, you know, they got the world
yeah.
at their fingertips. So we're starting to see what those minds are doing, you know, or what all that information, whether it be good or bad, I mean, is doing, you
Yeah.
know. There's some
Yeah.
negative
But it's
side
also
effects to
right. Like
everything.
it goes back to that algorithm thing, right? Like it is programmed to learn the things that keep you engaged, keep you scrolling, right?
Oh yeah.
And so often that's like some horrific shit. Right. That makes you go, whoa, what the fuck? Like the next one, oh, right. Like and it reinforces biases, it reinforces the things that you see. And so it's scary shit, man. Like you know, I find myself having to like pull out of that, you know, and go, whoa, like I went into the matrix and
I
like
do too.
I don't
I
know
do
where the
too.
fuck
But
I
you
am.
see,
I don't know what time it is.
but you see, you have that life experience and you have that developed mind
Mhm.
where you're able to like
Yeah,
sanitize what you're being exposed to. And you know, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm done watching this. Or you just know, like, oh,
but
that's
that's my point.
bullshit. Or that's real.
That's my
Like, you
yeah,
just know
that's
you're
my
not
point,
getting
right? Like
drawn into
a,
it.
a kid can't do that, right? A kid doesn't
No,
have those mental faculties yet.
no.
And so, you know, there are tools out there. There are things, right? Like, and a big part of it is just be a parent, be an adult, right? Like, and take care of what you're supposed to be responsible for. Put the guardrails on your kids, but you know, I also look at it like there's, you know, there's folks working out 2, 3 jobs, right? Like single parents, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
like, and they're hustling and they're trying to do
Oops,
the best that they can. Oh,
that was weird.
oh, it was the
That
drones,
scared me.
bro.
Dude, what were you saying? They were listening.
The algorithm's
They were
catching
just
up.
listening.
Oh,
Freaking
shit.
Skynet. Hey, One Eye. That was weird.
Better get them back. Better get your security detail back.
Yeah. Hey, guys. It's a scary world out there.
But yeah, I mean, it's,
Um,
right? Like, you know, I know Instagram is now instituting, you know, kid accounts, right? Like to help parents put limits, right? Like there has to be, I don't think banning is the right answer. I hate that. I hate that idea. Like outright bans, I don't think are necessarily the right answer because there is some benefit. There is connection. There is, right? This is the world that we live in today. It is a digital world. So, right, like teaching kids how to interact with that in a responsible manner, right, is important. So I think putting guardrails and limits and, you know, able to increase that, increase the ability for parents to grasp those things and like easily put them on their kids, like, hey man, here's your guardrail, you can't break this. I think that's important, but I don't think outright bans are the way to go.
Well, then let me ask you, you mentioned earlier, so you said that it is at least the benefits is what I'm trying to understand. So you're saying like the benefits for a child having access to like social media, especially at that young age, you're saying it was like a connecting. Is that what you're saying? Like, I just want you to kind of break it down like in detail. What are the benefits that they can get from that then?
So I think yeah, right. Like there is the ability to connect, right? Like there's the ability to consume information. There's the ability to understand, right? Like others' points of view. There's right, like there's the ability to get outside your little circle, right? Like that was one of the greatest things about the internet, right? Like I can engage an entirely different culture in 30 seconds, right? Like I can see what it's like walking the ground in a different country. I can,
I see what you're
I can put on my VR, right? Like you can communicate with your friends, right? You can do those things. And that's something that like we didn't grow up with and that we've had to learn. And you've seen, right? Like the genesis of people making really stupid fucking mistakes online, that these kids these days kind of know better inherently because they've grown up with it, right? They're learning those lessons and those traits so much earlier. This is the world that we live in today, and it's going to get more digital. It's going to get more online, right? Like, and there's some trends of like going back analog, like kids getting offline a little bit more.
They'll never know what T9 life is all about.
Right. Like, I mean, God forbid, like we grew up, and did the heathen shit that we did growing up, with cell phone cameras and like, what I mean? Like, can you imagine like, like we'd both be in prison right now.
No, you probably.
Me 100%.
I went to
you
church.
Probably.
I went to church.
You're a liar.
I was like, Bible study selfie.
You sit on a throne of lies. Right, like, teaching these kids these things these days, right? Like, this is the world you live in, right? So banning the world doesn't fix it. Putting the guardrails in and teaching, I think, fixes it. But there definitely should be guardrails, 1,000%. I don't think banning is the right answer.
Yeah, no, I understand, man. I understand. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably have your own thoughts on this. So please comment down below. What are your thoughts? Should social media be exposed to teenagers, and young children, or should it be monitored, or should it just be banned outright? In that sense. So please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts, because I'm curious. And I have my thoughts too. I'm kind of like, I'm swaying back and forth here, because there's good points on both ends.
Back and forth. Yeah, I fight back and forth with that one.
There's good points on both ends. And the fact that I'm a father, it really kind of ties in a little bit more, you know. And I feel like, hey, if you're not a parent, I feel like you really shouldn't have an opinion on this. Um, if you're a parent, then yeah, please definitely weigh in. And you know, and I'm not trying to lay that out, but there's a certain level of understanding that you don't really know or experience until you know what it's like to raise one of your own, you know. Um, but yeah, this one's tough. This one's tough because, oh gosh, man, I feel like we can dive way more into this, man,
Sure.
and have a full on debate because it is this one is a tough one for me, and I'm not fully convinced, but I'm leaning more towards like, yeah, let's just outright ban it because there's just too many compromisable measures that are just outside of your control, and there's always going to be a loophole for it, and let's just look at the data. What's the data showing? If they can prove to me that the data is showing more productivity,
Sure.
or if the data is showing, holy crap, a totally decline, you know, I mean, test scores are going down, productivity and education is going down, you know.
That's been like that shit for decades, right?
I
Like
I know, but
even before
social media,
social media.
I mean, this is one of those things where they really have to dive into a boots on ground assessment, and I mean, get down to that classroom level. I
Yeah, but
mean, literally, because
it's the look at, if you're looking at it from a data perspective, right? Like I don't think I don't think you would be able to, you know, show the direct correlation one for one, right? Like there's too many factors in there, right? So is it possibly contributing? Yeah, maybe. Here's the way I look at it. You take a person, especially a kid, right? And you say you can't have this thing. Mommy and daddy can have this thing. You can't have this thing, right? What happens when that, right? Like when that guardrail comes off?
I mean, same thing. I'm pretty sure with beer, you know,
Yep. Yep.
you know,
Like, yeah. Right. Like, hey,
I mean, that's a good
I
example.
get my taste. Like now I'm going to go, right. What we have a culture in this country of like, oh, 21, time to go get fucked up. Right. Like, let's turn it on 100%. Right. And you make terrible decisions and life lessons. Right.
Yeah.
You look at the same thing, right? Like where you look at like the football games that they had this season in Europe, and you see 2 10-year-olds sitting there having a beer. Like, and I saw it, you know, during times when I was in Europe, right? Where like, oh yeah, that kid, like that's like a 12-year-old, bro. Like he's ponying up
Yeah.
to the bar. Like you're old enough to pony up to the bar, you're old enough to have a beer. Like it'll be okay. Right. And the culture is completely different, right? Like you make a couple little mistakes when you're younger, you realize, right, like how to deal with this. It's not a big thing, it's not a faux pas, it's not a, you know, it's not
Yeah.
that taboo thing that all of a sudden now you have, right? That's the thing that worries me about bans, right? Like that's why I hate bans on things, because they're
No,
generally ineffective.
no, and I get it, man. I'm
And
definitely
especially when
with
you
you
start
on
talking
that.
about
Like,
something that's a life lesson thing, right? Like
it's just,
um
it's in the sense
but I hear
where
you. I hear you.
things have just proven to be compromisable. There, no matter what system you have in
Sure.
place, it's almost like there's another force or another genre of people that are like, let's compromise this. Let's break this firewall. Let's break through. You know, the fact that we're going to find a way to break through it and exploit it, you know, and
It's gonna
then
be
once
like
they,
anything.
you know,
Even if you banned it,
literally
right?
anything,
Like you're like,
you're
oh,
just
you
creating a
have to be
market.
so old, you have to be 18 to
Exactly.
have social media account. Like,
Exactly.
you're gonna create the black market for it, right? Like somebody's gonna figure
Exactly.
out
And
like, oh,
that's
I
the
just put
exactly, and
yeah.
that's like the society that's the world we live in now. Like
Yeah.
literally, guess what? You take all the guns away, all the firearms away. Well, guess what? You just created a market now, a black market. You know, you
Oh,
take all you take all cell phones away. You can ban all cell phones. Well, guess what? You just created a market. You know, and now there's a market for cell phones. You know, it's. I mean, yeah, this it's a tough topic, and I mean we'll agree. You know, it is a tough topic, and I'm pretty sure everybody here will have their opinion as well. You know, we'll love to hear about it. Please comment down below. But this one is definitely it's just a tough one. You know, especially after a shooting. You know, at a school,
Sure.
especially after a school shooting from a 14-year-old. Blows my freaking mind, man. A 14-year-old. What the hell? Oh gosh. Oh, I mean, there's so much to go into, but we'll change this up. We'll change this up. We're gonna close this out, guys, with we're gonna shift topics. We'll close this out here. We'll see where we can cover this. But guys, so in case you haven't already noticed or aware of what all over social media and all over the headlines right now is there's a big talk and topic of discussion right now where TikTok is going away soon. It's scheduled to go away soon.
Yep.
Our current administration has put in the process, and I believe when is that date? It's like in January, isn't it? Or
Yeah, I think it's like 19 January. Right. Like, and it's not just the administration, right? Like, this was a law passed by Congress, right? It was
Yeah.
signed into law, right? Like by the current administration. Yes, it was signed into law by the current administration. But I mean, this passed Congress, right? Like they actually passed a law. Like that's a rare fucking thing. And they were able to get enough bipartisan support to pass this ban on TikTok.
So a ban on TikTok. It will be a law effective January 19th. Now, there's a big topic because there's
It's either
a lot
9th or the 19th. It's in January though. Yeah.
Yeah, it is in January. Guys, fact check us. Put it in the comments down below. But it is in January. It's been a big thing. You know, there's a lot of weird, I would say, just facts about TikTok. You know, their ownership. It ties all the way back to China. You know.
Oh, 1000%. Like that's not
Yes.
even debatable.
Yeah. So we already know we have one of the largest social media platforms in the US. I mean, I'll tell you right personally, me, I don't have a TikTok. So
No.
but I see everything that's on it. And I would encourage you guys, if you do have a TikTok or if you're thinking about getting a TikTok, really read that user's agreement. Read that. It's super long, but read it because there's some weird stuff in there. I mean,
It
weird
basically
stuff.
allows if you have one of those, your TikTok, your Temu, your one of those Chinese based applications, right? They can have every single bit of data on your device, not just what you shop for, not just what you post or look at, like every keystroke, every password, everything. In theory, right? According to their own user agreements, they can pull every single bit of data out of your device and shoot that shit back to China to be data mined. Right, by the CCP, right? Like by not by like the app designers at TikTok, like by the Chinese Communist Party, right? There's a reason why, like, if you're an intelligence official and you have fucking TikTok, and I saw it when I was in, like, I used to call people retarded. Like, you're an intelligence professional and you have given every bit of your data, your device, who you talk to, who you know, like everything. You've given up everything.
Yep. I used to include that in my
allegedly. Hold on, before we get
briefs.
sued.
Allegedly, guys, allegedly. But you read the user agreement. You can Google it, guys. There's all kinds of stuff on this. You can Google like user agreement, hit images. You're going to see it. TikTok user agreement. I mean, it's all over the place, but it is very sus, guys. And I would be cautious because there's not too many user agreements like it. Either way, obviously, our current administration, they jumped on that and they just said, hey, you know what? We're doing away with it. Let's get it out of here, and ban it from the United States.
This is where I'm like,
I know. But mind you, let me give you an update. So also in the news, the president-elect, President Trump, literally comes out when asked a question on TikTok, because as you know, the press is going all crazy and they're going to ask him all these questions, you know. And one of the questions they asked him was like, "Hey, what are
Yeah.
your thoughts about TikTok being banned here in January? You know, making it illegal to have a TikTok in the United States?" He responded with, "I have a warm place in my heart for TikTok,"
Yep.
and he basically left it at that. I don't know what that means. I'm curious, Will. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
So
You
the
know,
CEO of TikTok also went down to Mar-a-Lago recently,
Ooh.
and met with Trump. And yeah, there's definitely it's definitely very interesting, right? This is where it gets really funky. So the lawyers for TikTok have basically asked for a stay in the law being enacted, going all the way up to the Supreme Court. That's going to be a tricky, very, very tricky move for them, legally speaking, right? Like you're asking them to stay a law that's being enacted. I don't know. I don't think that like the Supreme Court's even going to take it up. Here's the other thing, right? Like it's a law, so really, like Trump
Yeah, that's a tough
can't
one. Yeah, he
affect
can't.
it dramatically. Like what he could do potentially is order the DOJ, right? Like not to pursue action against anyone, right? Like whether that be, you know, TikTok themselves, any service providers, any right, like right, if it's banned in theory, right? Like, hey, Apple has to pull it off their store, Google has to pull it off the store, right? Or they could face legal ramifications. So he could, in theory, potentially affect it that way. So it's kind of in this weird spot that it's going to be interesting to see what
Yeah.
happens here.
Yeah, that is. I'm curious. I'm curious because he is kind of in a tough situation. And obviously, if the CEO is literally going down to Mar-a-Lago to meet with him, I mean, we can only imagine what those discussions are like over dinner, you know, and what they're talking about.
Sure.
But you know, obviously we know the president elect has constantly expressed how much, you know, he loves his country and is not about, you know, having it compromised both digitally and physically, you know, by any foreign adversaries or foreign
This is
entities.
yeah. This is
So this one is tough. I'm curious, you know.
well, this is the part that gets me, right? Like so there's really two arguments, right? One is right the linkages to the CCP and right like um the data proliferation out of their app, right, off of user devices, and it basically being used as a spy tool, right, on every American in the U.S. that has it. Okay, that's camp one, kind of, right, but there's a lot of that hasn't necessarily been proven. Like now you have to prove that they actually were getting all that data and then shooting it out. Okay, right. The other one is right like the exactly the discussion that we were just having, right, like
Mhm.
the youth aren't right like able to handle this, and you know this algorithm is arguably one of the most aggressive for like a doom scrolling type of thing, and it's just ruining young people, right, like so we got to get rid of it. Well then why the fuck, right, like no, you really don't want to get rid of it. You want to get rid of it because it's a Chinese competitor to a US company,
And one of the
right?
fastest
Let's
growing.
follow
Yeah.
some dollars here. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
follow the money, right? Like I don't see you doing the same thing with Facebook. I don't see you doing the same thing with Instagram, or let's
Now,
just call it Meta, right, as a whole, right? Like you're not attacking them. You're not attacking like any of these other companies that are kind of doing that. You're not going after Google and YouTube. Uh right? Like you might be posturing like you are, but you're not fucking banning it, right? Like
yes.
right, you're removing choice from Americans, right? So this is where like again the libertarian in me goes, "Hey motherfuckers, like not cool." Right? Like somebody's doing it better, right? And you're just banning it cuz they're fucking Chinese, like Now they're right, like it's an adversary of America. Like there's just so many factors into this that is just like this is.
Yeah,
I don't
I,
know.
I know.
I don't
I know
know
there've
about
been
this one.
talks. Yeah, I know there've been talks too about it not being owned by an American-based company. And
Right.
there have also been
That's been a
talks like,
major
how
factor.
about an American-based company buys it and then it's able to still assume services in the US?
Well, that
Um,
is part of the deal, right? Like if
yeah,
they sold it to a US based, if right, like TikTok was sold to a US based company, like everybody's good with it, right? Because then who's getting that data, right? Who's getting the dollars? Who, right? Like,
yeah,
um, right? Like it kind of
money,
to
money,
some extent comes back,
money,
yeah, right. Like you start following some dollar
money,
trails, right? Like put on my little tinfoil hat over here.
money,
I'm gonna
money,
get one.
money. Follow the
And
money,
like,
team.
so
Just like
it's
the Godfather
right.
movies.
Yeah. Um, it's a hard thing to kind of like tackle because there's so many different factors and so many different um equities in both for and against this thing that exist, and everybody has their own agenda, and it's hard kind of deciphering who sits where and why, because the First Amendment folks, right, like we're talking about removing arguably a public square that
Yep.
millions upon millions of Americans are using. Um, and then there's the security aspects of it. There's the money aspects of it. There's national security. Like there's a lot of different things at play here that are kind of just all over the place. And it's hard, but bottom line is, right, as of today, unless the Supreme Court takes up this case and puts a stay on this law getting enacted, which it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. It's
Doesn't I
possible,
don't
but
think
it
I don't
looks like
think that is.
that's unlikely. Then it comes down to Trump and right, what's he going to do? Because overall,
And
I mean, it kind of sounds like this is generally, if I saw the polling correct, like the banning of this thing is fairly unpopular with the average American.
yeah, I mean, I can totally see why. We're a social media driven society.
Right.
Now you're about to take one of the largest social media polls, you know,
Yeah.
and also like a lucrative one from a influencer standpoint. There's a lot of TikTok
Oh yeah.
influencers,
Sure.
and you're
Yeah.
about to take their method of making money away.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of people, especially a lot of the young people, because it's very popular with the young people. But I am interested to see how this plays out. I definitely think President-elect Trump is going to be in a tough spot. But the fact that he's already meeting with the CEO, I mean, that should kind of already kind of paint the picture there.
I mean, they're posturing, like I said,
Yeah,
like
like we don't know what they're discussing. We don't know what those conversations are being, what they're talking about. All we can do is guess and assume. But either way, some common sense analysis here kind of just paints a picture of like, okay, let's see what happens when he takes office. I mean, let's see, and if and when, we don't know, but if and when, or we'll see what happens with the organization. You never know. Maybe there's some kind of, who knows, maybe Elon Musk buys TikTok, there's like the deal or something. I don't know, guys. I mean, who knows, dude? Who knows? This world, nothing surprises me. We got drones over Taco Bell, we got freaking 14-year-olds that going crazy and shooting up, and we got Luigi's out there freaking ghost guns, and I mean, guys, it doesn't even, I got OJ, the glove, does it
Yep.
fit or does it not? We don't know what the hell's going on. Gosh, dude, there's a Buffalo Trace shortage here in Texas. I mean, there's so much to talk about, guys. Who knows? It doesn't make sense. Either way, I'm glad Will's here, and I'm glad you guys are here, and we're going to find some common sense in all this. Oh, man. Oh, well. Oh, well, Will, I think we should wrap it up. Guys, I think that's going to close it up for us tonight. Definitely, I appreciate you all being here. Please comment down below, comment your thoughts, on all that we discuss, There's a lot of deep topics. What are your thoughts? Should TikTok be deleted from the United States? Should it not be? And why? I'm curious to know why, though. Don't just comment and say yes, it should be deleted. Hey, tell us the why. Give us the why. Good leader always gives the why. So give us the why. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts too on what we discussed tonight. Social media. Hey, should it be available to our young teenage population, or should it be banned? Should it be controlled? What type of controls? I mean, there's just so many different ways we can approach this. And I'm curious to know your thoughts on it. So please comment down below. Let us know. And if you got questions for One Eye, he's out there somewhere. Let us know. Put your comments for your questions for One Eye. Where do you want him to go next?
Got so many questions.
What do you want him to check next? What do you want him to go and investigate for us?
It can't be a fucking school with that goddamn mustache he's got. I'll tell you that right now. He can't investigate anywhere near a school zone.
Yeah, that's actually true. That's a good. Yeah, hey,
be careful of that.
Watching, man. Don't go to no schools. Okay, don't go to Wisconsin.
Not with
Stay
that.
away.
Not with that face.
Stay away, dude. Stay away. Stay at that Taco Bell OP that you got set up, and let us know what's going on out there. All right. But we're glad you're staying safe, man. Stay safe out there, and we'll definitely touch base with you here soon. Oh, well, guys, hey, once again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already been part of the Comfort and Chaos team, hey, please join the team, join the community. The support definitely goes a long way. And you know what, guys, hitting that little clicking that button, it's free for you. That's the best part about YouTube. It's free for you, but it definitely is very appreciated because the support goes a long way for us, guys. And definitely share it. Share it with your friends. If you know somebody who's interested and probably got some input on the topics we discussed tonight, hey, share it with them. Let them know. I'm telling them to come comment. If they disagree with what Will or I said or any points we laid out, hey, bring it on. That's all we're going to say, But either way, guys, once again, thank you for being present this evening. And get yourself some Chaos gear, guys. Good gear, good holiday gifts for this holiday season, guys. Get yourself some gear. Links will be in the description below, along with previous episodes and playlist links as well. And we look forward to interacting with and engaging with you guys in the future. Any last words? Will, what do you got for the team?
Oh. Wise man once said that what doesn't kill you is just going to make you the proud owner of a bunch of unhealthy coping mechanisms that will also lead to an alarmingly dark sense of humor. So good luck with that.
Guys, I don't know what he's smoking. I don't know what he's on.
I am in Colorado.
Yeah, dude. Did you just watch an episode? Did you just watch the movie Good Will Hunting or something before you came on here? Or what'd you do, dude? Just watch some Robin Williams videos or something?
Do you like apples? How do you like them apples?
That was just too deep, dude. You went from those Canadians are gonna get some damn walls to now.
I gotta keep you on your fucking toes, homie.
Think about the universe and as it copes with the energy from within, it'll look like the wise man. What the hell, dude? You went to the left field with that one, but hey, either way, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. All right. All right, guys. Hey, from our world to yours, have a good night. Hey, do your push-ups. Drink your water, take your vitamins, guys, and continue the mission of life. And we'll see you on the next episode, team. Out.